14th, 2000. I get a roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Kurtz,
Here.
Mr. Storlo, Mr. Natali, I'm here. Mr. Mercado,
Here.
Mr. Bowman,
Here.
Mr. Dawson, Mr. Carderas,
Here.
Mr. Linder, Mr. Tedisco,
Here.
Mr. Anderson,
Here.
Ms. Downs,
Here.
Mr. Selmont. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Everyone would like to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic
for which
for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
Indivisible.
liberty, and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to take 1, 2, and 3 together, which is the special permit application, earth removal, filling and regrading permit, and re-subdivision application of De Janeiro Development Construction LLC. Can we hear a call for that, please, Mr. Natali?
Absolutely. For all three of these, the packet information is available for review on the town website homepage under documents distributed or displayed during virtual meetings. Number one, the continuation of the special permit application of De Janeiro Development and Construction LLC, care of Anthony J. Fazzone, Esquire, Fazzone, Ryan, and Mertucci, LLC, 2 Town Center, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, for earth removal waiver, section 2559, for 21 lot subdivision, property located at Weiss Road and Academy Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, as generally shown on Assessor's Map number 58, lots number 12 and 17 in R40 zone. Number two, the continuation of the earth removal, filling, or regrading permit of De Janeiro Development Construction LLC, care of Anthony J. Fazzone, Esquire, Fazzone, Ryan, and Mertucci, LLC, 2 Town Center, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, for earth removal, filling, or regrading permit and waiver request of subsection 9 under section 25.5, property located at Weiss and Academy Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, as generally shown on Assessor's Map number 58, lots number 12 and 17 in an R40 zone. And number three, the continuation of the re-subdivision application of De Janeiro Development and Construction LLC, care of Anthony J. Fazzone, Esquire, Fazzone, Ryan, and Mertucci, LLC, 2 Town Center, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, for a 21 lot re-subdivision, property located at Weiss Road and Academy Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, as generally shown on Assessor's Map number 58, lot numbers 12 and 17 in an R40 zone.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd just like to read comments in the record now, so we get them in at the top. There's only a few. I have comments from fire, one from Chespercott, and then I have the follow-up comment from Cheshire Police Department, who did the sightline evaluation up there.
Sure, go right ahead.
First is Cheshire Fire Department, dated December 10th, 2020. Subject, no, wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on, wrong one. Wait. Just the wrong one. Wait. Let me read Chespercott's December 12th, 2020. Orchard Subdivision. Here, Ms. Brownridge, Chespercott Health District conducted soil testing on this parcel and reviewed a site development plan prepared by Ryan McAvoy, P. of Malone and McBroom, dated December 2nd, 2020. This includes Figure 1, Lot 4, design dated December 12th, 2020. The lots will be served by public water and on-site sewage disposal. Lots 1-21 have suitable source or septic system designed by a professional engineer. The following comments are offered. Lots 1 through 21, except for lots 4 and 11, need additional soil testing in the primary areas prior to the submission of individual septic designs. There should be 2 test pits in the primary septic area and 1 in the reserve area. Lots 2, 6, 14, and 15 and 21 have restrictive layers in the reserve area. Please revisit the MLSS design on these lots and design according to the restrictive layer when the individual septic system designs. Lot 6 does not have the correct restrictive layer listed. Please revise the MLSS design based off the restrictive layer fitting the individual septic system design. The site plan listed as SP1 and SP2 does not show percolation tests in every lot. However, SS3 does show percolation data. When submitting individual septic design plans Please make sure the percolation test site is noted on the plan. If there's no percolation test in the septic design area, then a percolation test must be done prior to submission of an individual lot design. Comments from the Cheshire Police Department that we asked them to do a sightline study, which they did do. We gave you the photograph and narrative that was done. Ms. McAvoy and police went out there. In attendance was Officer Christian Johnson, who did review the narrative that Mr. McAvoy put together, and he sent us an email dated December 14th. Good morning, William. I wanted to make you aware, according to Condot ISD, intersection site distance, a single unit truck and tractor trailer semi would need 560 feet and 680 feet respectively, traveling 40 miles an hour on Academy Road within the range of site distance on that road. After reading the memorandum, I agree with the sightline assessment. Any questions, please contact me at 232715544. Thank you, Christian Johnson. And I will look for the other comments, Mr. Chairman. Proceed here.
Okay, thank you. Who is representing this applicant?
Anthony Fazzone.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. One thing first. Bill, Mr. Selma is trying to get into the meeting. He just sent me a message.
Here he is. So is Maggie. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. As the call of the meeting says, this is a continuation of a public hearing that primarily was kept open because wetlands had not acted on the application, and we have since received wetlands approval, and a copy of the minutes and their approval has been forwarded to your commission. At the prior public hearing, there was discussion about two matters. One was the dam on the site, and the other was the sight lines along Academy Road. Ryan McAvoy is attending the meeting, and Ryan will discuss both of those issues. And I think he's on.
Yes, I am, Anthony. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. For the record, it's Ryan McAvoy, licensed professional engineer with Mylona McBroom. Just to expand a little bit on what Attorney Fazzone mentioned, we have revised the site plan pursuant to our discussion of the P&Z Commission last month and with respect to the wetlands approval. And the site plan revisions are primarily focused on the areas of lots 3 through 9, which are the upper, that'll be fine, Bill, that one's fine.
Yeah.
3 through 9, which is on the upper and left-hand side of the through road. What we've been able to accomplish is relocate the basin in an area more favorable to the Wetlands Commission, and place the detention basin and the existing dam on Honeypot Brook entirely within a parcel that is going to be owned by the homeowners association. And the commission, a couple members of the commission were concerned last month about the nature of the dam and that it be properly inspected and repaired if necessary prior to the homeowners association being required to provide the maintenance. And in speaking with the applicant, Mr. DeGennaro, he is committed to performing the required inspection by the DEEP and performing any repairs required on the dam before such time as the property and the responsibility of maintaining the dam is passed under the homeowners association. So we hope that that satisfies at least the short-term concern that the commission had about placing that burden on homeowners within the development. Secondly, we did review and in the field with the Cheshire Police Department. Actually, it's with Lieutenant Sutherland, who is the lieutenant for the traffic division, where we showed them the available sight lines both on Academy Road and on Weiss Road, and provided a more detailed available sight line on the graphic and narrative submitted to the commission, where looking right from Academy Road towards the center of town, we can see in excess of 1,000 feet from the proposed roadway location. And looking to the left or to the east towards Weiss Road, we can see over 800 feet. Those sight lines are well in excess of what would be required for a 70-mile-an-hour design speed, which is well beyond the 40-mile-an-hour posted speed on Academy Road. Similarly, Weiss Road, we have at least 550 feet in either direction along Weiss Road for a 25-mile-an-hour design speed. That would require 280 feet, and we're in excess of what would be required if the design speed were 50 miles an hour. So it's our opinion, and I believe based on the email correspondence with the police department, that they are in agreement that the available sight lines from both intersections are adequate in accordance with the regulations. That's a brief summary of where we stand. As Bill mentioned, the Chesbrough has approved the revised lot layout. We did have to perform a few additional test bits on lot 4, because after we finished our juggling of the lot lines, that lot did not have adequate testing at the time, and we performed 3 additional test bits to demonstrate that that lot, as shown on the plans, are suitable for septic systems. We have also, again, received approval from the Wetlands Commission, and I think that's a brief summary of the changes that we've made to the plans. In summary, we believe that the commitment by the applicant to perform any inspections and maintenance on the dam is certainly positive for the future homeowners. We believe that the application as presented conforms to the zoning regulations and subdivision regulations. And if there's any questions of the commission, we'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Wait, before you answer questions, real quick, Mr. Chairman, Alan is communicating to me that she's hearing everybody real well on YouTube. So if we could all speak a little louder and into your microphones, that would be helpful.
Okay.
So, and then I have the comment regarding the water, if I may. I want to ask a question, read this in. This is dated November 2nd, 2020. The fire department has above application of the planning and zoning process. We recommend the following common stipulations. 1, final water main layout will meet 6-3 of the Town of Cheshire Code of Ordinances and will need final approval from the fire chief or his designee. Main size 8 inches, and fire hydrants will need to be spaced a minimum of every 500 feet at all ends of the main. That's a comment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Commission members, any questions for Mr. McAvoy?
Yes.
Mr. Natal.
Okay. I've actually 3 questions. So as far as the HOA docs that we received, I didn't see anything mentioning the dam in the HOA docs. Is that going to be added in there?
Yes, maybe I should answer that, Mr. Natale. As we do with the requirements of the detention basin, which you saw in the declaration, for the record, we will add similar language with respect to the dam. At the time, the contracts for the purchase of a lot and a home within the subdivision, as we've done in the past with the detention facilities, will have a statement in bold print that there's a dam on the property and that the ultimate responsibility for the dam will be with the homeowners association. And that will be after the inspection is done and whatever remediation is necessary for bringing it up to a satisfactory condition. That inspection and I guess schedule of repairs will be done by Mylone and McBroom, and I believe, and Ryan can correct me if I'm wrong, would be done by Ted Hart, who has at least substantial knowledge of what's required by the state of Connecticut.
Thank you. And that leads me to my second question about the dam inspection. So, Bill, will that be a stipulation as part of the approval that inspection and any subsequent repairs happen?
Well, the applicant has offered that as a
Okay.
part of the testimony here, so you don't need to specify it other than if you approve this application, you're then taking into the record as part of the record what was just offered by Attorney Fazone.
Okay, just want to make sure on that. And then, and Ryan, I somewhere in the documentation in the narrative talks about a better sight line or possibly some interference by trees when you're looking north on Weiss Road. And I don't know if those are on the property, on this property or somebody else's property. Are there any plans to trim those?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to speak loudly so we don't have any problems. So the sight line that we offered in the plans at 550 plus certainly exceeds any sort of normal standard. And the only obstruction that would prevent you seeing further, all the way up to Baxter Court, almost all the way to Richmond Glen Drive, I believe it's called, would be a couple limbs on a tree, maybe 15 feet up on the tree, and it's on the property owned by the applicant. Certainly, a couple limbs can come down without too much difficulty. It's certainly capable of being done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying that it has to be done. I just read it in the narrative, so I just wanted to double check on that.
Yeah, and in fact, you can see well beyond. I mean, today with no leaves on the trees, you could probably see in excess of 1,000 feet. Frankly, just those limbs are clearly in the way, and I'm sure when they're fully leaved, probably limit the sightline to 550.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I saw Mr. Mercado had questions also.
Yeah, question about the access to the pond. Is that just clearing? Is there any kind of stone, like walkways? What is that access, and who's going to maintain that access?
The access is just a gravel driveway, and it will be maintained by the homeowners association. It provides vehicular access to the dam and to the backside of the detention pond, and I suspect will provide foot traffic, pedestrian traffic to the pond itself.
Okay,
Ryan, I believe Mr. Brucato may be referring to the pathways that a couple of the lots have to the pond.
Yeah.
Those lots, Mr. Brucato, are subject to site plan approval by the Wetlands Commission. So they will ultimately have approval of whatever those are going to look like. It's not intended that they be paved. They would just really be a cleared area as determined by the Wetlands Commission and a path to the pond. And the homeowner who gets the use of that would be the one responsible for it.
Okay, fair enough. And that was what I was talking about, is that those access ways.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, any other comments, questions?
EJ.
Sure, Mr. Bowman.
In number 2, they're asking for a waiver of the earth removal, filling, and regrading permit. Is that something that I see that they have received wetlands approval, but during the wetlands approval, it was designated as significant in the context of the regulation. Waiving this, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with at this time, before we know exactly what they're going to do and what type of waiver they need and why they need that waiver. Our regulations sometimes are put in, to protect some of the land and some of the runoff. And because there is so much wetlands on this property, I'd really like to know exactly what they're going to do. That was my first question. My second question is, does this public hearing need to be kept open until we receive the information about the dam inspection?
If I may take a stab at the first question, Matt,
Yep, go ahead.
with regard to the waiver, so we put together a narrative discussing the earth removal regrading permit, which is tied to the construction of the road network and the stormwater basins. Pretty evenly graded. I believe there's an excess of 2,000 cubic yards to construct the road. In the context of a 4,000 total linear feet of roadway, I'm sorry, 3,000 linear feet of roadway, that's pretty evenly balanced grading activity. In terms of the waiver, what we're referring to are two small basins that are near the intersection of Weiss Road and our proposed road, and also near Academy Road in the proposed road. These stormwater basins are to collect stormwater runoff from the roadway prior to entering into the town or state highways. And the excavation that is proposed, or what we're seeking a waiver for, is all of 2 feet below what is there today. So in general, our excavation needed to construct those basins would be 2 feet below the grade that is presently there. So very limited in nature. It was something that, in order to dot our I's and cross our T's, we requested as part of the application. But certainly this plan, as you see, has been reviewed and approved by the Wetlands Commission, and they took into account all the grading associated with the stormwater basins as shown. And in terms of the dam inspection, the dam inspection is required by the DEP periodically. This dam is registered with the state. The next scheduled dam maintenance, the dam inspection, is to be done by the end of 2022. That's going to be required regardless of whether this application receives approval, doesn't receive approval, or what have you. The dam is there today. We're not proposing it. It's just something that is a maintenance responsibility of the property owner. In this case, it's owned by Sharon Brownridge, who lives in New York State. And I believe that if this application receives approval, it'd actually be more likely to receive the necessary repairs because the applicant's committed to doing it before the homeowners association takes over. But he currently does not own the property. So if the commission does not see fit to approve this, I imagine he probably wouldn't be looking to do the dam inspection. That would be the responsibility of the property owner herself. So I don't believe that the dam inspection is necessarily tied to this approval. It's just tied to the fact that the dam is present on the site today.
Well, it has been questioned. And when was the last time the dam was approved?
The last inspection, according to DP records, was 1996.
1996.
Correct.
Okay, and they're 25 years, there could be significant changes. I would certainly feel more comfortable if someone with some sort of knowledge of that took a look at it before we approved it, but that's just my opinion.
I can assure you, Matt, that regardless of whether this gets approved, held open, it's going to have to be inspected at some point down the road. I believe I'm certainly comfortable that the applicant's committed to doing it and is committed to do it before a homeowners association would be responsible for it. The dam itself is completely independent of this application. So I would argue that, delaying any motion or closing the hearing as a result would be unnecessary because of the fact that the dam's there today.
This is Anthony Fazone speaking. This is kind of similar to off-site improvements, and that the dam is in the jurisdiction of I guess it's the DEEP, and I think rightfully some concern was in terms of dumping this on a homeowners association, and that's why the applicant is prepared to do the inspection and the remediation work before the actual date that it's required. And the waiver of Section 9, I think today there's probably not a subdivision that will come before this commission that doesn't need a waiver of Section 9. In this case, the primary thought behind it is that because you're meeting the grade of the roads, being Weiss Road and Academy Road, any amount of regrading that you do within 50 feet of a road requires a waiver. The regulation says there shall be no excavation within 50 feet of a road. But I believe certainly it's, I guess, obvious that in order to connect one road into the other, there needs to be some regrading. And I don't believe that the Wetlands Commission actually determined that the activity was under the prudent and feasible alternative requirements, but rather there are other requirements of the regulation, including public interest, is why they required a public hearing. And they were satisfied, obviously, with all of the wetlands activity, and actually none of the activity was in a wetland. It was slightly in the upland review areas. And I agree with Mr. McAvoy that the issues with respect to the dam should not interfere with the commission acting on this application.
Anthony, all I said was that it was within the context of the regulation, it was deemed that there not only should be, a public hearing, but
That's correct, but there's a significant difference between that and them determining that the activity was a significant activity, requiring that the applicant show that there was no reasonable, prudent alternative.
I didn't request that.
Pardon me?
I said I didn't request that. I just said it was, I didn't request a prudent alternative. I just said that because it was deemed the way it was, that, what they were going to do. Ryan explained to me that they were just going to do a few feet on each side, and I'm good with that. So
Yeah, it's a very minor amount of excavation that we're talking about. Primarily, our stormwater basins that you see at the intersections of our proposed road have a berm constructed and a small degree of fill with a little bit of cut. These are very minor amounts of regrading, and they just happen to be near the roadway, so we can capture runoff from our roadway network prior to stormwater discharging directly into Weiss Road or to Academy Road.
I'm good with that. I just had the question on the dam. I didn't know if we should look at it first, but if the rest of the commission doesn't feel that way, then I'm fine with it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bowman, is that the end of your questioning so far?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mr. Kurtz.
Okay, anyone else on the commission would like to ask questions on this applicant?
I just wanted to reiterate about the traffic issue coming out onto Academy Road. I still think it's a dangerous situation. I know that the police have approved it. They have said it's adequate. I'm not sure that adequate is good enough for that section of road. I just want to state that I just really think it's a bad idea, unwise to put a road coming out of there with that amount of traffic. I also think people are going to cut over from Weiss Road probably. So you have 21 houses, I don't know how many cars, at least 3 cars per house coming in and out, all of the other deliveries in and out. I think when you are trying to turn into that, taking a left from the main section of town, from downtown, that it's going to be a very dangerous turn. And that concerns me.
If I could respond, I just would like to add that if we did not have a through road, if we had a dead end road, then every single vehicle entering into this development would then have to take a left onto Weiss Road. So it's a similar condition. We have adequate sightlines in all directions, and simply eliminating the connection onto Academy Road would just force every car to turn left onto Weiss Road. So you're making a left whether you're into our development or into Weiss. And I don't think the geometry of our road nor the actual increased distance that it would take to get to Weiss Road would represent a logical cut through. I think being on Academy Road and on Weiss Road, certainly they're much straighter, and it's much more comfortable for people to make the left onto Weiss Road who live northerly on Weiss and other neighborhoods. I just don't think this presents a very reasonable cut through scenario. So we feel comfortable that the through road represents the best scenario for the applicant for emergency response. Again, any ambulances, fire trucks, police vehicles would be coming from Academy Road. In order to access these lots, they would then have to go all the way down to Weiss, all the way through the development, whereas they can enter directly from Academy Road under this circumstance. It's preferable from Public Works perspective, so they don't have to maintain, in this case, what would be 2 cul-de-sacs. It's a lot easier to plow when they can just keep the plow down and go right straight through. So from a Public Works, from an emergency response, and from the development's perspective, we feel that a through road's appropriate and that the sight lines we've established are adequate and safe.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Ms. Downs, did you have any other questions?
No, I haven't. I don't have any more questions. I just stating that I don't think it's a good idea. So it's not a question. It's just, I guess it's a statement.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other commission members looking to ask questions on this application?
Yes, I have a follow-up.
Sure, Mr. Vitale.
Following up for Mr. Bowman on the dam. So just want to make sure I understand the sequence of events here. So Mr. Fazone, or Attorney Fazone, on the deeds on the property, there's going to be a stipulation that each property owner is going to be required to join the homeowner association, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Also with that, the homeowner association will not be formed or turned over until this dam inspection is done and any repairs are made, correct?
The homeowners association will be formed, subject to the declaration that says that the homeowners association will be responsible for maintaining the dam. The representation will be made, and that would be noticed in bold print in the contract. So anybody buying a house in this subdivision would know about that before they commit to buying a house. What the applicant is saying is that he is committed to having the inspection done before any houses are sold, and having the remediation, if any is required, done before that occurs.
Okay, that's where I was going with that. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that the properties weren't going to be sold, and then because it's in the contract, that somebody buying into the neighborhood would then be responsible because legally they signed the contract. They're going to join the HOA.
There may be a situation if you approve this subdivision that someone comes along and wants to buy a house immediately. The contract would alert them to that, and also the applicant is committed to doing that before a parcel is transferred out of his name. He may have a contract with someone to buy, to build a house for them on there, but that house would not be transferred until the homeowners association is formed and the dam repaired if necessary.
Okay. That's exactly where I was going. I just wanted to make sure that any potential property owner is protected, that the homeowner association wouldn't be formed until then. So that's good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other commission members with questions?
I have a question for Bill. Bill, is this something that can be bonded so that we are sure that we're protecting the
No,
homeowners?
no.
No? Thank you.
Well, as for what Mr. Fazone just said, there wouldn't be any homeowner without the proper corrections done to the dam according to the DEP, correct?
That's what I said, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And
I'm
I don't
sorry,
think-
he
I
broke
don't
up a little
think you
bit. That's
can
why I couldn't
bond.
hear him.
Can't
That's,
bond for it. Statutes will
I
not
don't-
enable you to bond for it.
I'm sorry, Bill?
You can't bond for it.
Yeah, no, you said that. I heard that. Thank
No.
you.
Yeah, no, Anthony was starting to say, you just can't do it.
Okay. Any
Great.
other
Yeah,
questions?
I'm sorry, just follow up on that. So Attorney Fazone, would the DEP, let's say there's some deficiencies found, would the DEP need to approve the dam being fixed? Or could the property owner at that time go ahead and fix it?
I'll jump in if that's okay. The DEEP has jurisdiction over this dam. Any recommended repairs would be subject to their approval, and any approvals done would be subject to their supervision if they decide to supervise any improvements.
So
It's considered the lowest class dam that the DEP reviews, because there's really not a lot in the way of downstream properties that are at significant risk. But nonetheless, they do have jurisdiction over it.
So what would happen if the DEP says didn't approve the fixing the deficiencies? I guess the homeowner association wouldn't be formed and the houses wouldn't be built.
Well, we've committed that the applicant would take care of any problems if necessary. We don't believe that there's any major structural deficiencies in this dam, but that doesn't mean that a thorough inspection wouldn't reveal some minor repairs that are required.
Okay, I just want to get that on the record because that's kind of important for potential property owners.
I'm fairly certain that the DEP has authority to require the improvements if the inspection shows that it needs repair.
Well,
And
correct.
I don't know what the enforcement would be, but as my recollection, dealing with the dam up near the entrance to 84, that the DEP was the DEP at that time came in and ordered the repairs, and they have, I'm sure they have authority to go to court if necessary.
But aside from going to court, what was stated before, correct me if I'm wrong, if the DEP does not sign off on this dam, you will not be, or the applicant will not be allowed to sell any lots or anything to any potential buyers without the approval of the DEP for the dam. Is that correct?
My only question with that is the word sell, because I would prefer to say
About
transfer.
the word close.
Yeah, no closing.
Close, transfer, close is all right.
Okay, so we would not have a homeowner in this development without the approval of the DEP for the dam.
Correct.
Okay.
And is there any reporting that's required to go back to the town on that, Bill?
No, I mean, certainly we would, you could ask for that, but, normally if there's a problem, the DEP will notify us too.
Well, I'd like to see something, because I know in the past the town, not that this is going to happen in this case, but the town has been stuck with some dams that we've had to pay for repairs. So I just want to make sure that, as Attorney Fazone said, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed there.
Mr. Natale, in that the dams have the worst reputation of anything in the town of Cheshire, all because of one dam. And in that case, the homeowners association wasn't even formally formed. So when they looked to see that the homeowners association was responsible, there was no homeowners association that that the formation hadn't been completed. But we will represent that the town will be advised about the inspection and provided with a copy of the report of the inspection and the DEEP's response to that report.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on this application? Speak up. I don't have everybody's picture up on the screen, so. Okay. Bill, do we have any comments from public?
On this one,
No
Suzanne?
comments. No
Okay.
comments from the public.
No comments. Okay. Then everything is taken care of. All the comments are read into the record. And I
Yes.
closing this public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Number 4, special permit reapproval application of Ball and Socket Arts Incorporated. Can you hear the call for that, Mr. Natale?
Yes, just for point of clarification or point of information too, just wanted to point it out, Mr. Strollo did join for that last discussion.
And Mr. Chairman, I have to recuse myself from this application.
Okay.
Okay. The special application, oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second. I think I have these in the wrong order. Ball and Socket?
Yes, Ball
Okay.
and Socket.
Special permit reapproval application of Ball and Socket Inc., care of Anthony J. Fazzone Esquire, Fazzone Ryan Mercuti LLC, 2 Town Center, Cheshire, Connecticut 06410, for reapproval of the special adaptive reuse development of an art center with mixed uses to include a restaurant and retail space, property located at 493 West Main Street, Cheshire, Connecticut 06410, as generally shown on Assessor's Map number 40 in an I-1 zone. Packet information available for review on the town website homepage under documents distributed or displayed during virtual meetings.
Thank you. And representing the applicant here.
Yes, again, Anthony Fazzone for the record. I would expect that everyone on the commission is familiar with what is called the Ball and Socket property on West Main Street. And that's a former manufacturing and I believe warehousing type activity. Building dates back to, the main building dates back to prior to the Civil War. Ball and Socket actually, I believe, made buttons for the Union uniforms. There's 6 buildings on the property. There's a regulation, section 45A, which is called the Special Adaptive Reuse Development. And that regulation is specifically designed for what you have before you, a building that was built, most of it and probably all of it before zoning, and the special adaptive reuse regulation allows you to come in and propose uses that are not otherwise allowed in this case, the industrial zone. This was approved as a special adaptive reuse development and special adaptive reuse district in 2014. The application before you, well, the section 45A gives you 2 years to complete the project, and you can ask for a 1-year approval. So obviously more time than that has gone by, and that original approval has terminated. expired. The we've asked that the record of the 2014 approval be made and accepted as a part of this record. The application, insofar as the uses and building locations and all of that, this application is exactly the same. We're asking for a reapproval of that application. The town's consulting engineers had some questions with respect to stormwater, and Ryan McAvoy will address that. We have received wetlands reapproval of the application. For those commission members who were not on the commission at the time it was approved, the approval process also allows the applicant to propose a set of regulations specifically intended for this particular or their particular piece of property. For example, in the this is in I-1. I think I may have said I-2. This is in I-1. You have particular uses that are in an industrial use. Light manufacturing would be one in the I-1 zone. I think this building's uses as they currently, or as they did exist in 2014, were mostly non-conforming. But anyway, we proposed at that time, and it was approved for uses centered around the arts. And just to go through the regulation that was approved briefly, it called for galleries, display of local artists' work, and work products, including but not limited to paintings, drawings, sculptures, mixed media, applied craft, and multimedia arts. It also applied and allowed facilities for live music performances, lectures, and video screenings, artist studios, including facilities for instruction in the arts, and also for practice with respect to performing arts. It also allowed, the idea was that it was a mixed use development. So there is goods where goods are sold or services rendered at retail. There was a limit that there could be no more than 6,500 square feet of retail space. And it also allowed for restaurants, and the gross floor area of all restaurants would not exceed 10,000 square feet. The idea was that, part of the idea was that it could attract people to go and visit, to see the artists working and the artists' work. And at the time, I thought it would allow, the regulation allows ice cream parlors, or an ice cream parlor. Ryan can describe, I think they're very brief, that the changes that the consulting engineers have requested. And just as an aside, or I guess not as an aside, the property, with all the manufacturing that occurred over the years, was subject to a significant amount of contamination. Since 2014, when Ball and Socket Arts acquired the property, they have been working on remediation of the site. They have some remediation left to be done, but that's what's been going on. And they did receive a grant to do some of the remediation. And as I said, they're continuing to do the remediation. With that, Ryan can please explain the changes to the stormwater management.
Thank you. Again, for the record, my name is Ryan McAvoy. I'm a licensed professional with my Malone & McBroom. And the plans that we're asking you to approve in terms of the parking, in terms of the layout, in terms of the uses are all consistent with the 2014 approval. When we did make our reapplication to inland wetlands, Anchor Engineering, who is now does consulting work with the town engineering department, did come up with a list, a rather minor list, I would say, of requested computations and analysis that were not included in our original application for approval. And primarily, they requested that we review all of our drainage design with respect to National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, data, which is now the standard applied to rainfall. That was not the case in 2014. So we did rerun our hydrology on our storm drainage modeling based on the NOAA rainfall data, resulted in minor tweaks to our underground stormwater management system in the rear of the site. We also were asked to analyze tailwater conditions from drainage discharges into the canal, which we provided. And also they had some questions about how we designed the water quality treatment systems on the property, and we provided that information to them. So the revisions are very, very minor. They're all associated with underground stormwater. They don't impact anything that you would see on our layout plan in terms of parking, landscaping, where access points are, where emergency vehicles enter and exit the site, or some of the surface amenity features, plaza spaces, things like that. So I would just offer that the changes were very, very minor in nature. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. McAvoy?
So we're going to read the fire department comments in first, or can I comment on those?
I was going to comment on, but go ahead, Mr. Natali.
Yeah, I have some question on the second comment. It says the proposed West Main Street entrance is not adequate and changes are required. Do we have any details around what that is or what their requirements are?
I guess I didn't realize that there were fire comments, but I believe, and Bill can.
These are, if I may, Mr. Chairman, these comments are not with respect to comments are going to be offered to amendments to the plan. That's, I apologize, but these comments you have here are for plan you haven't reviewed yet.
Say that again. Breaking up a little bit.
Comments you have, they did concurrently with this some amendments that they want to discuss with us to the plans. These comments pertaining to those amendments are not pertaining to the reapproval of the original plan. Okay, so you should ignore the comments you said December 10, 2020. There are a much broader set of plans that you may be seeing an application for to the plan. Those comments are not related to the reapproval as you see it before you right now.
Okay, that was going to be my question because.
Yeah, no, that's all right. They submitted. I apologize for that, but they were for something you haven't seen yet. So, and that's a work in progress.
Okay, so we're just, whatever comments were done in 2014 from the fire department, those are the ones that are,
Yeah, the plan you have before you was the one essentially that the fire department concurred with. It's a reapproval of what you guys had already approved. The comments you have here are related to a set of drawings that has yet to come formally before the commission.
and if that came in, we would have another public hearing and.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Question about that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Mr. Kurtz, I would point out that both fire and police had significant input on the final site plan that we're asking you to reapprove
From 2014.
from 2014.
I was okay with it in 2014, so I'm assuming I'm going to be okay with it again. But I was just confused with you maybe didn't see what was in our package, but there was comments, I don't know, 15, 16 comments from the fire department. And it was just weird to see December 10th, 2020 as the date and to see these comments. But now that that's been straightened out, I have no issue with it at all. Any other questions by commission members? Okay, sensing none. Bill, any comments, or Suzanne, any comments from the public on this?
Yes, we have two comments. One is from Ilona Samoji that was sent to the comments email section today at 5:26 p.m. and it reads, "Dear Commission, thank you for reviewing the application for reapproving the Ball and Socket Arts Project at 493 West Main Street. Our organization has weathered many storms since we first bought this project before the Commission. It's an incredibly challenging project on many levels, but we've learned a lot along the way, that it is normal for mill conversions, especially those with environmental contamination components, to take many years until completion. It took Mass Mocha 17 years to open, so we are doing okay by those standards. I'd like you to know that the leadership of the organization is significantly larger than it ever was, and significant strides have been made in the development of the project. Our partnership with Jerry Sitko and Dom Bombero through the DECD municipal grants has allowed us to accelerate the restoration and the cleanup, and we look forward to funding prospects that allow for cleanup while also moving the construction of the site forward. If all gears align, we are looking to open our first phase of operation in the first half of 2021. But the first step to getting there is getting these plans reapproved. There's no significant shift in the usages presented 5 years ago. Please feel free to contact me during the meeting if you have any further questions." That's signed Ilana Samoji, President and Co-founder, Ball and Socket Arts Incorporated. And the next comment is from Ron Bergamo that was sent today at 7:05 p.m. "I've lived in Cheshire for only 23 years, but it's exciting to watch the revitalization of our town. Expanding on concepts is the means by which we grow our tax base. The factory finally is moving forward, being a source to draw business and revenues to the revitalized West Main area. Your rapid approval of their permit application ensures them the ability to get tenants in place and begin the process of restoring a glorious facility to once again be a major contributor towards Cheshire's economic health. Looking forward to hearing the project is moving forward. Ron Bergamo, 103 Glenbrook Drive." And that is it for public comments for that application.
Okay, thank you very much. Commission members, one last time before I close this public hearing. Anybody? Okay, none. All right, thank you, and we'll be closing this public hearing. Moving on, number 5, special permit application 687 South Main Street LLC, planned residential infill development, 7 townhouse style units with associated access drives and utilities, section 43.8. Mr. Natale, can we hear the call, please?
Yes. Special permit application of 687 South Main Street LLC, care of John Malone and McBroom Inc., 99 Realty Drive, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410 for a planned residential infill development consisting of 7 townhouse style units with associated access drives and utilities per section 43.8, property located at 687 South Main Street, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410 as generally shown on assessor's map number 71, lot number 32 in an R20A zone. Packet information available for review on the town website homepage under documents distributed or displayed during virtual meetings.
Thank you. And representing the applicant tonight?
John Malone from Malone and McBroom, for the record. Bill, do you want me to go right into a presentation or did
Yep.
you want to read your?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for hearing this evening. If you recall, a few months ago, this particular property was in front of this commission for a zone change application, which the commission adopted to move the property from R20 to R20A to permit, rather than just one single-family home, an alternative of an infill residential development or an office use, which is permitted in the R20A. So this application is following that approval by the commission. The site is about 0.7 acres, just under 3/4 of an acre. It's located along the west side of Route 10, just north of Higgins Road, and most people are about a mile south of the town hall and the green in the center of town. And most people are familiar with this as being one time called the underground gas station, where a driveway that entered from both Route 10 and Higgins Road swept around to the rear of the parcel and existed as a kind of a unique gas station for years. It's been abandoned for some time. It had become kind of unattractive and not producing any value to the community. This zone change allows an application such as this to be presented, which hopefully you'll find it be a positive addition to the town. The property is generally bounded by non-residential uses or multifamily residential uses. To the north is a small office park with primarily medical offices. To the east are some business uses and mixed uses. The one larger building to the east has apartments on the third floor. To the west is a parking area that is connected to the medical office use to the north, and to the south is some um, um, undeveloped land, which is associated with the housing development, the multifamily housing development that's just a little further to the south. And then there's one single family home slightly skewed to the property to the southwest. The topography of the site slopes from its high point along Route 10 on the east side of the property to its low point on the western side in the vicinity of the parking area. Again, that supports the office use, the medical office use to the north. That grade change is about 12 feet or so. And that grade change and the former use of the site, which has resulted in some diesel fuel being kind of remaining on the property, drove to a certain degree the site design. Couple of things we needed to do. We could not excavate into this property. There's an environmental land use restriction on the property which permits the residential use, but does not allow any excavation beyond 3 to 4 feet into the existing grade. So we needed to work with that grade very carefully here, and that drove to a certain degree the site design. A couple of other objectives that we had as we looked at this property is one, we wanted to eliminate access onto Route 10. There's no need to have multiple driveways on this property, and eliminating a driveway onto Route 10 is, so we only have one access to the site on the south side along Higgins Road. The third objective we had was to try and make this as attractive as possible, and primarily from all sides, but primarily along Route 10, to try and create a front of properties there along lawn areas, which are more consistent with the historic nature of Route 10, the main street in town, where properties were fronting on the main road. There wasn't driveways and things between the buildings and the roadway, and the front doors for those properties sat facing the roadway. We believe we accomplished that with the layout of 3 garage under units on the east side or the Route 10 side of the property, and 4 units on the west side of the property. This is I think Bill just went through, these are the floor plans. They're all 3-bedroom units, all with garage unders, all have 2-car garages. The units, if you can go back to the rendering building, which we spent a lot of time on, was the appearance of this on the intersection of Higgins Road and Route 10, which we feel is a prominent, important corner. And you can see the design has porches and steps and sidewalks and just architectural treatment that will ideally provide a very attractive appearance at this location. Utilities are in place to support the development, both in terms of sanitary sewer and water supply, and the stormwater management system includes provisions for dealing with increases in peak rates of runoff and dealing with quality of runoff before they're discharged to an existing culvert just southwest of the site. And then lastly, we did perform a traffic study to confirm that there were adequate sight distances, and the site driveway along Higgins Road is safe. It is a signalized intersection at the intersection of Higgins Road and Route 10, and so there's plenty of opportunity to exit and enter the site. But the generated traffic from a development like this during a peak hour is very slow, anywhere between 3 to 6 vehicles in a peak hour, which is almost not even noticeable. So that's an overview presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that the commission might have.
Okay, commission members, questions on this application?
Chairman?
Mr. Picado.
No questions, just comments. I think you did a really great job on the design. It fits Cheshire. I like seeing these full renders coming from, applicants instead of just drawings. So kudos to that. Great job.
Thank you.
Any other commission members? None? Okay.
Chairman, if I may,
Joel.
did somebody, did Sean, you want to ask?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just one question for the applicant. Now these 3-bedroom units, I was looking at it quick, and you're thinking that out of 7 units, that'd be 21 people. So I heard you say with traffic jam like 3 to 6 because it's such a low impact of traffic because of the design. Is it like a condo unit or a rental unit? That's what I don't understand.
That's a good question, Sean. I've heard both. The applicant has said that they would be selling them, and then another time they said they consider renting them. They're fairly large units for rental, quite frankly, so they may be condos. I can't guarantee you one way or another, but I don't think that'll change the occupancy or use.
There'll be no. Well, this is like, are there going to be any restrictions, like age restricted or anything like that?
No, they're not age restricted, and they're not a first bedroom on the first floor, so they're not really age targeted. But I'm sure that someone could move from a single family home to this and be happy with walking up a set of stairs if they're comfortable doing that. So they might draw age targeted families, but they're not age restricted units. They're not restricted. So yes, there could be children here as well. Okay,
and the other thing is it going to be restricted of like Quinnipiac students can rent it or move into it? That's the only thing, because I know that in Hamden they're having the trouble with the students. I was just wondering if that's, because ideally it's a nice place for them, but I don't know if that's going to be a restriction on it.
I could tell you that's not the developer's intent, and unless they want the entire development to be that, they're going to marginalize their marketability if they have that type of activity there. I don't know how, Bill, you can answer that better.
Well, I had a conversation with John Ricky about it. He has no intention of renting to Quinnipiac students in the more than one conversation I've had with him about it.
Okay,
So,
all right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have some comments to read in.
Sure, please read the comments.
First is Regional Water Authority. It is within the Act of Protection. Regional Water Authority has reviewed the above reference application. Property is within both the Mill River Aquifer Protection and Mill River Public Water Supply watershed. The applicant is proposing construction of a 7-unit multifamily housing. The residences will be heated with gas connected to the municipal sanitary sewer system and served by public water. Stormwater will be directed to a storm trench infiltration system based on the information submitted. We have the following comments. 1, erosion sediment control plan is adequate. 2, the stormwater management plan, including the inspection and maintenance plan, is acceptable. 3, fuel storage and hazardous materials storage during construction is addressed in general note number 11. Thank you for the opportunity to comment on this application. If you have any questions, please call me at Ron Walters, Sincerely Regional Water Authority. It's dated December 10th, 2020. And then I have a comment from the Cheshire Fire Department dated December 10th, 2020. The fire department reviewed the above application for the plan and zoning process. Recommend the following comments and stipulations. If the application is approved, code compliance plans must be submitted to the building official, fire marshal's office prior to construction. 1, final water main layout will need section 6-3 of the Town of Cheshire Code of Ordinances. Will need final approval of the fire chief or his designee. Minimum main size is 8 inches, and fire hydrants will need final approval to construction. One other item, Mr. Chairman, is this application is still waiting approval from the sewer commission. What do we call it? WPCA, Water Pollution Control Authority, and we have no motion prepared for this tonight. So, other than that, Mr. Chairman, we have no additional comments on this one.
Okay, thank you. Ricardo.
Footings, I know you can't excavate below a certain distance, like I think it was like 3 or 4 feet. Does that include digging down for footings for these? How does that work? And can you, does that bring up any contaminants? I don't know if diesel just sits and does an outcast. How does that work?
Yes, that's a good question, but we will not even be digging down below the 3 or 4 feet for footing. So generally, we've brought in 2.5 feet of fill onto the site so that the finished grade is up about 4 to 5 feet above the existing grade. Therefore, the footings will sit a couple of feet below existing grade and not get beyond the 3 foot to 4 foot depth.
Great, thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, we do have a public comment.
Okay, why don't we hear that now?
Okay. It is from Christine Morris, sent tonight at 8:22 p.m. Will these units be privately owned or rented by the current owner? And will an HOA be formed? Is there a possibility of placement of a fence in back instead of shrubbery at the rear of the property? And what is the height of the anticipated shrubbery at the rear? Have all the concerns of increased water runoff been addressed due to change in topography? And that is signed Christine Morris, 4 Blueberry Place.
Okay, Mr. Malone would like to take on any of those questions?
Sure. In regards to stormwater, again, there's been a detailed stormwater management report which addresses, there's actually, it'll be a big improvement in terms of water quantity and quality because we have an underground stormwater management system, and this new design will address water quality as well. So that answers number 1. Number 2 is we did propose a series of trees along the western property line. They tend to be narrow, tall trees, and we believe there will be a better buffer than anything else. There's a parking lot right adjacent to it, so we want something a little bit more visually restrictive than a fence. This was reviewed by the beautification committee, and they were satisfied with the selection of plants along that property line. So we would really like to retain those. And again, that property line abuts a parking lot, not a residential property. There's a parking lot before any residential properties further west. So we would like to retain those. And I can't remember the third comment. Wanted to do with drainage.
The building, I think it was.
I can read those again. Questions were, will these units be privately owned or rented? And also, will an HOA be formed?
Okay, so I had already addressed that for Sean, and essentially, I believe the applicant at one time talked about rental and another time talked about ownership. So I'm not sure, but if they're condominiums, there will be a homeowners association. If they are rental, then they will be owned in entirety by the applicant, and they will be in fully control of maintenance and other things.
Okay, was that all her concerns, Suzanne?
I believe so. I don't know if the issue of the height of the shrubbery was addressed. That was one of the questions.
Well, it's the selection was a type of arborvitae which is deer resistant. I think I can't remember what it was called. I remember them talking about it at the beautification committee, and it went through a lot of discussion. So it might be tall. I think that'll get tall. And we wanted something that was, kind of provided a little bit of a buffer to that parking lot. So, but the building here up to 35 feet high, so I'm sure it won't be more than 10 or 12 feet. So.
Okay, thank you. Was there any other comments that came into any from the public?
No.
Okay. With waiting for the WPCA, is that something we would need to keep this public hearing open for, or
No.
not act on?
You don't need to keep it open unless you wish to, but you don't need to for that. And they will be meeting before your next meeting, which our next meeting is January 11th.
Okay, did any of the commission members have an issue with closing the public hearing?
No.
No. Okay, any other commission members with questions before I close the public hearing? Okay, sensing none, I will be closing this public hearing. Thank you.
Mr. Kurtz?
Yes, Mr. Malone.
If I could indulge the commission for 2 minutes on just another matter, which is having to do with having nothing to do with any commission business, but just something on a personal level. I just wanted to mention if I had a minute.
We're in a public hearing. You want to take it up in our regular meeting, or is it something to do with that you want the public hearing?
Public hearing is still open then? Okay, I thought you closed it, so
I closed the public hearing on that, but you want to address something at our next meeting, or which is, I mean, it's going to be in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
if I could have 2 minutes of your time when outside of the public hearing, just it has to do with our firm and the name change. I just like to have the opportunity to catch it before year end. I'd maybe like to 2 minutes of your time.
All right, why don't you just hang out for a couple minutes, and then we'll get to our next meeting.
Thank you very much.
It's going to be very soon. I'll give you the floor first. Okay. Right now, let's move on to the special permit application of Apex Developers LLC, 15 Monarch Place. We hear the call for that, please, Mr. Tyler?
Yes. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Bowman.
I will be recusing myself from this.
Okay, thank you.
Special permit application of Apex Developers LLC, care of Philip E. Bowman, 200 Old Town Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, for an accessory apartment property located at 15 Monarch Place, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, as generally shown on Assessor's Map number 79, lot number 7, in an R80 zone. Packet information available for review on the town website homepage under documents distributed or displayed during virtual meetings.
Thank you. And representing the applicant on hearing? Have anybody on the hearing?
No,
Go ahead. Anyone on the call?
Am I on?
You're on. Are you there?
Okay, I'm here. Yeah. So I'm before the commission tonight, looking to add an accessory unit to the backside of a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath colonial at Monarch Estates.
Up here for a second. I just need a name and address for the record.
Oh, sorry. It's Phil Bowman, 365 Finch Ave in Cheshire.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Again, looking to add an accessory unit to a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath colonial at lot number 7, Monarch Estates in town. The accessory unit totals 936 square feet. It has its own separate entry coming in between the garage for the accessory unit, and then it has another point of egress and or entry off of the bedroom. It has connectivity to the main house through the mudroom area. They have a kind of a shared mudroom off the garage. That's really all I have for, the explanation. I don't know if anyone has questions about the layout.
Mr. Chairman, I have one comment to read in the fire department.
Sure.
Dated December 10th, 2020. The fire department has reviewed the above application plan and zoning process. We recommend the following common stipulations. 1, a fire alarm system be installed so that occupants of both dwelling units are notified of a smoke or fire condition in the other. Really, Mr. Chairman, we have no comments. The applicant is pretty simple. These accessory apartment applications are very simple. It is completely consistent with the regulations set forth in the Cheshire zoning regs.
Okay, thank you. Commission members, any questions on this application? Okay, since none, thank you, Phil, and we'll be closing this public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Kaderis, seconded by anyone, Mr. Mercado. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, sorry, what? Okay. Moving on, the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting for Monday, December 14th, 2020. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from our public hearing and regular meeting from November 23rd, 2020?
Yes, Mr. Chair, motion to approve both.
Natali, second. Mr. Tedesco. Any comments? Anything in the in our minutes? Okay. We are missing Mr. Dawson as a regular member, I believe, and Mr. Linder also is not here. Am I correct with that? I think
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have Mr. Selmont and Ms. Downs voting on this vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? The motion carries unanimously. Okay, I'm going to take election of officers. I'd like to put that to the end of the meeting.
All right.
And I'll also do the 2021 meeting dates. Under communications, I would give the floor to you, Mr. Marlone, for your couple minutes of something you'd like to talk about.
Thank you very much, Earl. I appreciate it. And I'll just be quick. It was about 32 years ago that our business, Jim McBroom and I moved our business to Cheshire and built it. And it grew over the years. I subsequently moved my family here. And we've run it here. We grew to the point where we had well over 100 employees, and our offices at 99 Realty Drive, actually 185 with the company I brought in New England, but about 120, 130 in Cheshire. And a year ago, after a lot of consideration, we merged into an internet firm known as SLR Consulting. Created some unique opportunities for my senior staff to play a national role and to really advance their career. Part of it, we made the applicant commit to accepting a 10-year lease for our building and in Cheshire, so that they would have at least a 10-year commitment to having a strong presence in the town of Cheshire. So we're here for an extended period of time, but as of the first of the year, and it's gone quite well. As of the first of the year, we will be known as SLR Consulting, no longer Milone and McBroom. And when you see us, I just want you to know it's the same firm, the same people, and our commitment to the community has not changed. So I had a chance before year end to get your ear, and the commission's been, over the years, has been wonderful to us. And I want to thank you for that. And nothing will change from our perspective except our name. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yes, congratulations. Those people are going to go forward, and wish you all the success.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time for this.
Okay, thank you. Bill, under communications, letter from Anthony Pizzone.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, dated December 1st, 2020. RE subdivision approval, Millipolitano Wolf LLC, TriStar Development LLC, North End parcels. Commission members at the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission on June 8th, 2020. Above referenced subdivision application of Millipolitano Wolf and TriStar is approved. The notice of approval was published in the Cheshire Herald on June 18th, 2020. The appeal period under Section 8-8 of the Connecticut General Statutes expired on July 3rd, 2020. The approved map is entitled Re-Subdivision Map Plan North End Parcel 1953 Highland Avenue, 2037 Highland Avenue, MBL 3-51, Cheshire Connecticut, sheets 1 and 2 by Milone and McBroom. On September 4th, 2020, the Commission granted a 90-day extension to file a subdivision map on behalf. We're hereby requesting a further extension of the 90-day period. File a subdivision map with the town clerk as authorized in section 25 of the Connecticut General Statutes. Very true. There's Anthony J. Fazone, Ryan, and Ricciuti LLC.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'll be recusing myself, or Mr. Kurtz, I'll be recusing myself.
Okay,
From
thank you,
this
Mr. Bowman.
I have a motion,
All right, so-
Mr. Chair, if you wish.
We have, yes, please.
The Cheshire Planning and Zoning Commission hereby grant a 90-day extension for the filing of the subdivision mileage approved re-subdivision plan North End Parcel 1953 Highland Avenue, 2037 Highland MBL 3-51 Cheshire, Connecticut. Sheets 1 and 2 by Long Broom as authorized under 8-25 of the Connecticut General Statutes. This is the last extension that they are permitted by statute, Mr. Chairman.
So move the motion.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Mercado, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Natali. Discussion on this motion. Okay, so we're gonna need all three alternates on this because Mr. Bowman has recused himself. So all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Number 2, is that taken off the?
Yeah, number 2 has been withdrawn, Mr. Chairman. The request for pre-application review. We get an email withdrawing that one.
Yep.
So
And then
we have a number 3, a letter for number 3, and a motion for that one as well.
Sure.
Mr. Volker, on behalf, this is dated December 7, 2000, Ryan McAvoy. Dear Mr. Volker, on behalf of the applicant for the above referenced subdivision, I hereby request additional 90-day extension to file and final documents on the Cheshire Land Records. The subdivision was approved with conditions on June 22nd, 2020, and noticed in the paper on July 2nd, 2020, with an appeal period that terminated on July 17th, 2020. The first of the 2 possible 90-day extensions was granted in September 2020, which allowed the subdivision map to be filed no later than January 13th, 2021. By my calculations, the second extension, if granted, will allow the subdivision map to be filed no later than April 13th, 2021, and I have a motion regarding that letter.
Can you please hear
Request
that?
for 90-day extension to file the approved subdivision map for Kaling Property Subdivision, South Meriden Road and Colton Lane. Cheshire Planning and Zoning Committee hereby grant a 90-day extension for the following subdivision milers as authorized in accordance with section 8-25 of the Connecticut General Statutes. This extension will expire on April 13th, 2021.
Move staff wording.
Second.
Move
Second.
Ali, second by Mr. Kaderis. Any discussion on this motion? Another one pretty simple. Although, and again, it'll be the same. I don't see Mr. Bowman back in his seat, so it'll be the same voting for all 3 alternates. Will be voting on this application. On this motion, sorry. All right, well, you're still out. Whatever. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, moved unanimously. Thank you. Unfinished business special permit application for the medical testing facility. I see someone on the call for.
Yeah,
that
Mr.
wants to
Chairman,
get-
you will recall you did waive the public hearing requirement for that. We do have someone here representing the applicant. I will pull the plan for you.
Okay, great. And Maggie, I guess the floor is
It
yours
is,
for.
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you for members of the Planning Board. I'm Maggie Maury with CVS Health. I'm do government affairs and regulatory issues on behalf of the enterprise in the state of Connecticut. We have before the board this evening an amendment to the special permit, section 40.8 of the Cheshire Code. We are seeking permission to install a temporary structure to be used for COVID-19 rapid testing at the location at 905 South Main Street in Cheshire. We do not own this property. The location for the proposed rapid testing site was negotiated and discussed with the landlord for the property. And I have included in the application some general details as to the operation of this temporary structure, which will serve to provide rapid testing for COVID-19. We are seeking a temporary permit for up to 6 months. And we do not know, I don't know that anyone knows yet, the extent of the public health emergency and whether or not we will need the use of this temporary structure for the full 6 months, or if that may need to be extended.
Okay, thank you. And we plan here where it's go. Obviously the parking, reserve parking just for that, 3 spots.
Well, there's, yeah, they're gonna consume up to 7 spots. And then I have a comment here from the Cheshire Fire Department, if I may.
Sure, can we hear that, please?
Dated December 10th, 2020, the fire department reviewed the above application for the planning and zoning process. We recommend the following common stipulation. 1, temporary vehicle barrier substantial enough to stop a moving vehicle will need to be installed to protect the proposed temporary structure in the waiting area.
And that's all the comments?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, any other commission members have any questions on this?
Yep.
Mr. Natale.
Just really quickly, so this going to be by appointment only, or are people going to be lined up coming down Route 10 or into the driveway?
No, this is Maggie with CVS Health. This is by appointment only. It is, as these are rapid tests, only 4 appointments per hour can be accommodated. And there is a CVS employee, a licensed professional, who is also in the kiosk. So I say that just because the kiosk accommodates 2 people in a socially distanced and appropriately walled off way. One is the medical professional conducting the rapid test and results. The other is the individual being tested. So the proposed use is 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. appointment only through the cvs.com site, very similar to what the swab and send COVID testing would do.
Thank you.
Any other commission members with questions, concerns? Okay, I sense none. Do we have them for this bill?
What's that? What did you ask? I'm sorry.
Motion.
Sure.
I mean, I something that's
No. Yeah, no. I have a motion. Special
I see
permit
no
amendment application. Menemsha Solutions general contract for a medical testing facility in the CVS parking lot at 905 South Main Street. The Cheshire Planning and Zoning Commission find that the proposed medical testing facility at 905 South Main Street, as shown in plans provided by the applicant, is consistent with the requirements set forth within the Cheshire zoning regulations. Hereby approve this application conditioned upon compliance with comments from the Cheshire Fire Department dated December 10th, 2020.
okay. But anyone? Anyone else?
Move the motion.
Moved by Mr. Ricardo, second by Mr. Tito. Any discussion on this motion? Something that's
Just thank CVS for all they're doing to get people tested as quickly as possible.
yes, definitely it's needed in town. On this, we'll have Ms. Downs and Mr. Anderson vote. Mr. Bowman is. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? A motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mr. Volker, would you be kind enough to, will I be able to get in touch with you tomorrow so I can understand the fire department stipulations on the permit?
Yeah, Maggie, I'll give you a call, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Have a good
You're
evening.
welcome.
Thank you for your work,
Take care.
Planning Board.
You're welcome. Okay, how does everyone feel about the De Janeiro development? Do we want to take that on tonight? I believe we did have motions in an email. Public hearing is closed. Is anyone not ready to vote on this application? All right, sensing none. Mr. Volker, can we hear the special
Your
permit
first
application?
item, special permit application, De Janeiro Development Conservation LLC, Weiss Road and Academy Road, earth removal waiver, section 25.59. The Fisher Plan and Zoning Commission found the proposed regrading within 50 feet of the street line is shown on plans entitled Orchard View Subdivision, Residential Subdivision, Academy Road, Route 6870 in Weiss Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, revised through December 11, 2020, will not involve or create substantial risk of damage to anybody property owner by approve this request.
Okay, moved by
Natali.
anyone? Mr. Natali, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Brucato. Any discussion on this motion? Just hearing in there, they said it was just a small amount of excavation, really not a big deal. Voting on this will what did we do last time? We did miss, so let's do Selma and Mr. Anderson. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Anyone abstaining? Okay, that motion carries 8-1-0. I believe it was Mr. Kaderis that voted nay. Is that true? No, it was all in favor. Okay, so it was the
No, I didn't
unanimous.
vote. No, I voted in favor of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. These came in late. So unanimous. Number 3, earth removal, filling, or grading permit.
Removal, filling, regrading permit, De Janeiro Development Construction LLC, Weiss Road and Academy Road. Church Planning and Zoning Commission find that the proposed regrading within 50 feet of the street line is shown on plan titled Orchard View Subdivision, Residential Subdivision, Academy Road, Route 67, and Weiss Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, revised through December 11, 2020, will not involve or create substantial risk or damage to any properties, any abutting properties, and hereby approve this request.
Move staff's wording.
Moved by Mr. Natali, seconded by Mr. Mercado. Any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 One opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Moving on to number 4, the re-subdivision application.
Re-subdivision application for 21 building lots, De Janeiro Development Construction LLC, Weiss Road and Academy Road. The Cheshire Planning and Zoning Commission found the proposed re-subdivision for 21 residential building lots is shown on plans entitled Orchard View Subdivision, Residential Subdivision, Academy Road, Route 68 and 70, and Weiss Road, Cheshire, Connecticut, revised through December 11th, 2020, are consistent with the requirements set forth in the Cheshire zoning regulations and subdivision regulations, and hereby approve this request. Condition upon compliance with the following: 1, comments from the Cheshire Fire Department dated November 2nd, 2020, and comments from Chesapeake Health District dated December 12th, 2020.
Move staff's wording.
Moved by Mr. Natali, seconded by Mr. Mercado. Discussion on this motion.
Yes.
Mercado.
I just want to make sure somehow that it's documented about the dam and that work will be taken care of before anybody occupies their property that they possibly purchased before the homeowners association is confirmed.
We understand Attorney Fazone made that promise. That's part of the record, and we will follow through on that.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. And I think for Maryland, I failed to mention that all 3 of those together were Mr. Selma and Mr. Anderson. I didn't mention it on 3 and 4, but they voted on all 3 of the De Janeiro subdivision motions. All right, moving on to number 5, the special permit reapproval application for Ball and Socket Arts. Do we
Right,
have?
special permit application, Ball and Socket Arts, 687 South Main, in accordance with section 45.8.5 of the Cheshire zoning of the Town of Cheshire zoning regulations. You have to do consideration of the entire record, the original approval of this application, including the original approval of this application on January 12th, 2015. The Cheshire Plains Zoning Commission hereby approves the special permit Ball and Socket Arts facility as shown on plans entitled Ball and Socket Arts Phase 1, 493 West Main Street, Route 68 and 70, Cheshire, Connecticut.
Staff order.
I recuse myself from that.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Natale. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bowman.
Second.
Okay, so Mr. Mercado has recused himself, which means we will need all 3 alternates on this vote. Any discussion on this motion? Okay, pretty simple application since just a reapproval. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And number 6, we are waiting on WPCA. Number 7, special permit application, Apex Developers.
Special permit application, Apex Developers LLC, accessory apartment at 15 Monarch Place. The Cheshire Planning and
Mr.
Zoning
Chairman.
Commission find that the proposed accessory apartment at 15 Monarch Place is consistent with the requirements set forth within section 30 Schedule A, item 5 of the Cheshire zoning regulations, and hereby approve this application condition upon compliance comments with the Cheshire Fire Department dated December 10th, 2020.
Okay, moved by
Mr.
Mr. Natale.
Second.
Mr. Mercado. Okay, Mr. Bowman has recused himself on this motion, so we will be taking all 3 of our alternates. Any discussion on this motion? Pretty simple request. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
abstain? Opposed? And anyone abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Under bonds, we have road exceptions for Beechwood Court, Clearview,
Yeah, hold on, I got to hear that somewhere.
somewhere.
Wait. This is from the town engineer, Public Works and Engineering, George Nawani. This went to the town manager, but it's a recommendation for acceptance. Dear Mr. Kimball, in accordance with the request by Clearview Farms LLC, this office has performed inspection of the public improvements associated with the reference subdivision, finds that they have completed in substantial conformance with the town of Cheshire guidelines and specifications and public improvements. Therefore, it is recommended that Beechwood Court in its entirety be accepted as a town road as shown on the map, the re-subdivision map, Clearview Farms Preserve, 947 Cornwall Avenue, Cheshire, Connecticut, 1 equals 40 feet, date June 2017, revised through October 2017, sheets SM1 and SM2. Prepared by Malone and Broom Incorporated, 99 Realty, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410, accepted by the town council to be conditional upon recording the warranty deed for the town right of way and related legal documents is approved as a form in contact by the attorney. At the time of acceptance, the existing performance bond may be released and a maintenance bond for $6,500 posted. Sincerely, George Nawani, Director of Public Works.
Moved by Mr. Natale.
Second.
Who's that, Mr. Kaderis?
Yes.
Beautiful. Mr. Bowman, are you in or out of this? You're muted.
EJ, which
It's the
Clearview Farms, extreme
for the,
acceptance.
I'm out for the bond.
okay. Then we'll be taking all of our alternates. We'll be voting on this. Any discussion on this motion?
Is this the extension of Cornwall, or is this the?
No, this is the first
Okay.
one that he did. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Anyone abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. New business, zone text change petition of Bizzuto's.
That's to delete prohibition. They're looking to introduce storage warehouses and distribution centers into the interchange zone. We would recommend that be opened on January 11th. That's been referred out to regional councils of government for comment. So we recommend that zone text amendment that open on January 11th.
January 11th, okay. And number 2 and number 3, nozzle properties.
Yep, they are related to each other, and we would recommend that they open on October 11th, or January 11th as well. So, oops.
Okay. So with that, I will move back to the election of officers. So under the rules, I will ask for any nominations for chairman of the planning and zoning.
I'd like to nominate EJ Kurtz for chairman.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Move to
I move
close
to close
nominations.
nominations.
Moved by Mr. Bowman, seconded by Mr. Bricado. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, now I think I need a motion to have me as E.J. Kurtz as the chairman of the Cheshire Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'd like to move that motion or make EJ Kurtz the chairman of Cheshire P&Z Commission.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bricado, second by Mr. Strollo. Any discussion on the motion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Anyone abstaining? Thank you all for my approval. Now I will entertain a motion for vice chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Nominate Mr. Strollo.
Move by nomination by Mr. Strollo.
Second.
Seconded by Mr.
By
Bowman.
Mr. I'm sorry, by Mr. Natali, not Mr. Strollo. He can't nominate himself.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Move to close
Move to close
nominations.
nominations.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Bowman to close nominations, seconded by Mr. Bricado. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion, now I need a motion made to make Mr. Strollo the vice chairman of the commission.
Make a motion to make Sean Strollo vice chair of the commission.
Second.
Bricado, seconded by Mr. Natale. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Strollo. I'll now entertain a motion
Thank you, everyone.
I'll entertain a motion for the second the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Jeff Natale as secretary of the commission.
Second.
Bricado, seconded by, was that Mr. Bowman? Mr. Strollo? Mr.
Mr.
Strollo.
Strollo.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Move to close nominations.
Second.
There, seconded by Mr. Bowman. All those in favor of the motion, if I was saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. I need a motion to put Mr. Natale in as the secretary of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'd like to make the motion to make to move Jeff Natale as the secretary of the commission.
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Bricado, seconded by Mr. Strollo. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Natal.
Thank you.
Oh, the favorite part of the meeting is over. Now we need to approve our 2021 meeting dates. I think we all had it in our packet. Does anyone have any, or can I get a motion to approve those dates?
So moved.
So,
Moved by Kaderis, seconded by Mr. Tedesco. Anyone have any problems with those dates? Any discussion? No. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. All right, we have to close this meeting and open up the aquifer protection. So I will entertain a motion to close our regular meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Kaderis,
Okay.
seconded by Mr. Natali. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, I'd like to call to order the aquifer protection agency for Monday, December 14th, 2020. Can I get where's my there? Sorry.
Motion to approve past minutes.
Okay, can I get a motion for our meeting from 12/9/2019? Boy, we meet a lot on this this commission.
Motion
Moved
to
by
approve.
Mr. Natali, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Kaderis. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. In the past, we've always done it. We just need a motion to elect the same office positions from the Planning and Zoning Commission to take over the Aquifer Protection Agency. So can I get a motion to do that, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Bowman, seconded by Mr. Bricato. Any discussion on this motion? Okay, all
Close the
those in
nominations.
favor? No, we're not doing nominations. In the past, what we've done is always just take whatever, make a
Okay.
motion for whoever the Planning and Zoning Commission just takes into this spot, and it's always been, it's not really a nomination. So, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. And we also need a motion to approve our 2021 meeting dates.
Motion
So
to
moved.
approve.
Moved by Mr. Kaderis, seconded by Mr. Natali. Any discussion on those? Nope. Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. I believe that is it for tonight. I'm sorry all that we cannot celebrate a Christmas drink, but I wish, or a holiday drink. I wish you all a happy holiday. Whether you're not getting together with family or just a very, very strange holiday we're going to have this year, but we can have a virtual toast this year for the holidays.
And because of the emergency circumstances, I no longer continue my objection to the dangerous concentration of power in one person, and therefore, because the conditions remove those objections.
All right, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Be well. Happy holidays.
Take care.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.